Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are a day later than normal. I'm going to fix this real quick. It seems like it's a little low and cattywampus, but I think I just made it worse. It'll be all right. I'm going to find myself really quick so that I know that I'm live. It says I am, but you know, there we go. Ta-da! Yay! All right. There we are. We are live. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you are here, make sure that you give me a thumbs up and list a comment or post a comment or make a comment, whatever you want to say, in the comment section. And tonight we are going to be playing with the August Glow of Harvest designer series paper. This is the product of the month. I love that Stampin' Up! Does the product of the month now. It also challenges me because, like this paper here, I actually love the paper, but I struggled with creating with it because it's kind of, even though I love it, there's not much color to it, and so it was a little different, but I got it. And I ended up loving the cards, and I went with the colors that were in the pack. But anyway, so, and I'm going to show you that paper once we get down to the table, and I'm going to go ahead and move you because I also want to show you one other thing. So yesterday and the day before, I just rotated it wrong. Sorry. I put together and got it all linked up and finished and whatever else with my September Simply Create. So I want to show y'all that really quick. I posted about it over on Facebook and on YouTube. So those of you who like to watch it here on YouTube, that would be for the replay. So thank you. Leave me a comment on the replay too. We like those. So it is using, let me move all this real quick. It is using the Radiant Sunflowers bundle. Oh, y'all, I'm so in love. I literally created these 5 projects, and I think I could create a whole nother class on it. Like, it is so beautiful and easy. And Stampin' Up! Also sent us an email today. They always send us what's called like a Succeed Weekly, and it just gives us some tips and tricks, and then it gives us like some samples of things. And let me just tell you, it was these. So I think we're gonna have to do a Facebook Live with it because I just love it so much. But let me show you what this class will involve. So you will get this Radiant Foil Specialty Designer Series paper. So you'll get a half a pack of that. So it's 3 sheets. Then you're going to get the Sunflower Fields. I think I'm saying all these right. Excuse me if I'm not. Designer Series paper. You'll get half a pack of it as well. So you'll get 6 sheets of it. And that is plenty to create your projects. You will have a lot left. So it's these patterns here. And then, of course, when you flip this over, you have all your sunflowers that you could create with as well. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't use much of the paper because I felt like the stamps were just perfect. And so I didn't want to make it too busy. So the Radiant Foil is just one-sided. So there's nothing on the other side for that. Then, so you get half a pack of each of those. Then you'll get a full bolt of the Mossy Meadow gingham ribbon, which you all know I love. And then we will do, you'll get a full pack of the Radiant Gems. And then, of course, you'll get your projects. So you can add on the Radiant Sunflowers bundle for cost only. So I'll pay the tax and the shipping on it. But let me show you the projects. So we've got this one. And then there's this one. And this one. And I had to pull in some pink with it being flowers. And then there's this one. And of course, there's a 3D box because I could not go without making a little cute box for this month's. And then of course it's got that foil paper on it there. So that is the Simply Create. This is $50 before, that includes shipping. All of that is just a straight $50. So there is, I'm actually going to put it in the comment section in just a second. the link where you can access all of that. But you can also head over to my blog, and my blog has a post with all the details on it. So with everything that's included and your cost and all of that. So that is that. Now, let's just dive right on in. Hello, Kathy. I hope you are doing well. I know we were texting a little while ago. All right, so let's talk about this Glow of Harvest Designer Series paper. I'm going to pull the ones that are full sheets out. All right, let's see. I think it's these. Just so you can see what the patterns look like. So we've got this one. And these are one-sided, so you don't have to choose which one you like the best. And then there's this one. And then this one. These are leaves. And then you've got the pumpkins. Woohoo! And then you've got this one. So the colors in this are Golden Glow, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, and then Cajun Craze. And then, of course, Very Vanilla. So, gorgeous paper. So, let's dive in. I will have, by the weekend, I will have the tutorial for all 4 projects. We're going to do 3 tonight, but I will have 4. And then you'll be able to get that. Sorry. I just swapped the camera. I don't know. There we go. I'm sorry, I don't know what I did. I was going to zoom in, but we're not going to try that. So close your eyes real quick. We're going to go down so I can get closer to the table so y'all can actually see the projects a little bit better. And I should have done it before I went to this side. So, okay, there we go. All right, so let's do our first project. And tonight, we are going to use some products that are not out yet, but they will be coming next week. Next Tuesday, they will go live. So I figured now is the time to start seeing sneak peeks of them. So, like this ribbon here, let me just tell you how much I am in love with this ribbon. It is actually twine or jute. It's actually jute. It's called jute. And I love it. Not only do I love it, but you can even make it skinnier by taking it apart, which is what I always love to do too, but I did not. So let's start putting this one together. I'm going to set that aside. Okay. I'm not going to torture you by showing you, by actually cutting the frame out, but I took a piece of, cardstock, words are hard. Piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4 or 5 1/4 by 4, however you want it to go. And then I lined it up at the 1/2 inch mark here because I just want to show you how it's done. And I started from here, this line, and then I went up to 1/2 inch down. So like here at the 8, just give or take. It's not going to be quite a 1/2 inch, but you can measure it that way. And then you flip it and you line it up at the 1/2 inch again, and you do it that way. Okay, so that's how I did it on all 4 sides. And then whatever little corners were not completely cut, I just trimmed it with a pair of scissors. So real easy to do that if you want to make your own border. All right, so we are going to take this piece here and we are going to add a piece of the designer series paper to the back. And I'm going to be honest with you. I really wanted in these projects to showcase the actual designer series paper. I didn't want it to just be like an accent. I wanted it to be the main part of our cards tonight. So that's what I kind of focused on doing. I feel like if you're going to have pretty paper like that, it needs to be shown, right? It needs to be very well shown. All right, so then we're just going to take this and line it up. I just trimmed this a little bit shorter than the 5 1/4 by 4, just so it would fit perfectly in that box. So then we've got that. Now we're going to take a sponge dauber. We're going to take some crumb cake. And I'm sorry about my sniffles. I think I might have been sick yesterday, but I didn't have time to be sick. So, you know, I just kind of went about my life and my business. And then I woke up today and was like, oh, I'm really hot. And I'm not sure that I didn't have a fever last night. So, yay for that. I didn't feel like I had a fever yesterday, but I woke up in a hot sweat this morning. And it was not because of the other things in life that happen to women. So, I really truly think that I may have been fighting something. So, but of course, right now is that season where everybody's getting their allergy issues and they're getting strep throat and they're getting, you know, the flu and all that. So we've had lots of kids going home. And the stomach bug has been going around. So, all right, so I'm just inking up those edges, just really to kind of give it more of like a antique fall kind of feel to it. And then once you're done with that, we're gonna set that aside. We're gonna take our card base, we're gonna fold it in half. I'm gonna grab my bone folder, and then we will take our white piece for the inside, because it's crumb cake. You could still write on your inside if you didn't want to put a piece of white paper on there, but I like adding the white, or very vanilla. I like adding it in because it gives it a little bit more stability on that back page there. All right, then we're gonna take this piece, we're gonna flip it over, and we are going to add dimensionals. Dimensionals are always fun. All right. And then, ta-da, there we go. We will take the backings off. I feel like that's the only thing I ever say. And then we'll stick it, see? We'll stick it right here on our card front. If you wanted to, you could even ink up the edges of the card base, just because they do show. So you could definitely do that as well. All right, now I took the Nature Symphony dies, and I took this die and I cut it out from Pecan Pie and Cajun Craze, because I wanted it to be a little darker than the crumb cake. And then we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna trim right there. And we're gonna take this piece, we're gonna grab some glue dots, and we're gonna attach glue dots to the back. And let's see, let's do that one, and let's just do this one. And then we're gonna lay this one right here. We're gonna cut off that bottom part there. All right, so we're just gonna lay that up there. Then we're gonna do the same thing to the Pecan Pie. We're gonna add some glue dots. If I can get them off. I got a roll one time, y'all, that it was almost next to impossible to get the glue dots to come off. They were some sticky little dots, and they did not want to come off of the white piece. So, all right, so then we're gonna add this piece, and we're gonna stick this right here like that. Nope. Oh, well, I think we're gonna be stuck there. Nope. Nope, we are not. Yay. I want to kind of separate it a little bit so the leaves aren't completely in the same like scheme, like overlaying like that. And then we will take this one and ta-da, and ta-da. And then we're gonna stick this one kind of like right over here, like that. Okay, then we're gonna take these bottoms down here and we're just gonna trim off those bottom tails as all of that just went flying. And I think it just went behind my table, which means that I will never probably get it. At least not anytime soon. All right, so then we have our flowers kind of there, so you can still see the background. This one's probably the one I covered up the most, but I tried to keep them as far to the right as possible so it doesn't cover it up too much. All right, then here we're going to stamp our sentiment, and we are going to use Cajun Craze, and we're going to do Sending Love. Fall's my favorite time of the year, so sending love is always good. We're going to put it a little further to the left so that it we can put our bow right there. We're going to take this, flip it over. Let's add some dimensionals on this side here. And then we're just going to, that's kind of thick there. So all we're going to do is add a glue dot because a dimensional is too thick, but then adhesive would just be too thin. So adding a glue dot gives it a little bit of thickness and it should lay pretty even at that point. So we'll stick this right about here. Ta-da. Okay. Then we're going to take our lovely jute here. We're going to take the pecan pie one, which was on the top, so it made it easy for me. And we'll tie a bow. Do you hear Maggie? She's whining. I'm not really sure what she wants at this point, but she's here and she's whining. She may need to go outside, but Daddy will be home in a minute. So he will take her. I fed her before we went live, so I know she's not hungry. Well, I don't know. She's a lab. She's always hungry. Labs are, I think, the hungriest dogs. They starve all the time, and they're really not starving. They just act like it. All right, I'm going to put 2 glue dots on the back of it, and then I'm just going to stick it right there. Last but not least, here's another new product that's coming out. This coordinates with the pumpkin patch. I'm pretty sure it has not come out yet. I don't think it has. I can't keep up with what comes out and what doesn't come out anymore, and when it comes out and when it goes away. I just can't. I look on the website before I start playing with something, see that it's there, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good to go. I mean, truly, that's what I do. Otherwise, I would probably just be frustrated because it's sometimes a little more. All right, and then there we go. There is our first card. I decided to just try some things with it because it did take me a while to kind of figure out what to do with this one, but I ended up getting there. So let's do card 2, and we'll do this one. We'll do this one right here. So originally, I will tell you, I was doing this card, and then I was doing our next card, and I cut out a frame using the arch dies, and this was the leftover piece, because why waste it? So I had this one completely done, and so I took off everything, and then I started over from the arch up. So I also felt like this really kind of added a little bit more like color to it, but it still doesn't cover up that paper. It still gives you a good view of the paper, but I think it just kind of added something else to it. And the ribbon didn't, was kind of fading into the background of the designer series paper. So now I think it gives the option of standing out a little bit more. So let's put this one together. And again, if you are a part of my email list, you will get a full tutorial on all these cards. So make sure you sign up for my email so that you can get those. And you can, as a matter of fact, let me do it right now. Let me stop and go and grab all the links instead of just the blog link. Select all. Facebook doesn't like it when you have a bunch in there, so I try to be, I'm trying to be careful with that. So let's go here. and I will go to comment and then paste. So then this will have everything in it. It'll have where you'll be able to sign up for the email so that you can have that emailed directly to you. Okay, so let's start. We will fold this in half. And there will be a blog post about it, but it'll just have the pictures and it'll have that it's the product of the month. So make sure you go to the registration for the email so that it will give you, so you can get the full tutorial. And again, I'm sending it out on Friday, so, well, hopefully Friday. We'll see. It might be Saturday. It might be Saturday before the end of the month, but it should be Saturday because I'm almost done with it. So, all right, there we go. Then we've got our designer series paper, and we're going to adhere it, and we're going to butt it up all the way to the right side, right there at that opening. Hello, Angie. So, Angie, I did not even think about this when I moved the live to Wednesday. I Like a Dummy. We haven't started Wednesday nights, so I Like a Dummy was like, oh, I can do it on Wednesday. And then I realized it was probably not a good day for people, but not a good day for my crowd, I guess. Maybe I should put it like that. All right, so we're going to put that down, and then we're going to add this right here to the front. And we'll attach it right about, I think right here will be fine. This part doesn't have to necessarily be in a perfect spot. I really do want to make sure that that's showing there though, and that you do have a little bit of that color kind of poking out there, because then it, I think, kind of gives it more of a look for the paper in the background. So, oh, did you? You just got out of church? Yeah. We don't start until after Labor Day. So I guess I just assumed everyone was like that. Apparently not. But you know what? Here's the deal. No day, I think, is good for everyone. Well, I know it's not good for everyone. And I'll be honest with you. Mondays aren't good because I have several meetings now on Mondays. Tuesdays, once a month, I have a church meeting with our women's group. Wednesday, I have church. Thursday, usually, well, you know, once a month we have our team meeting. So, I mean, really, is it good for anyone? Friday, well, Friday, I could probably do Fridays. But like this Friday, Ben and I are going to dinner. So, you know, it's just one of those things you just have to go with it sometimes. And then we just go from there. All right, so a stamped our sentiment. Oh, I wanted to show this. All of our sentiments are from this Prayers and Promise stamp set, which is one of my favorite. I love all of the sentiments in this set. I love it. So now we're going to take and put it on a piece of Cajun Craze. We're going to flag these ends. And I'm just going to flag a little bit, not too much. I don't want to take off too much of the paper because I want it to be long. I want it to go across. So we're going to do as short as possible. You know, that's kind of what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was thinking, Angie. And sometimes, you know what? If I'm on here by myself, I'm on here by myself. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. I am good at talking to myself. I am very good at talking to myself. Maybe a little too good. All right, we're going to put adhesive on the back of this, and then we're going to attach it in the center. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It really does not have to be. Just put it down. I fussied with the sample one way too long. Way too long. All right, we're going to also put some adhesive right there in the center. We are going to grab our ribbon, and then we are going to stick it. Let's see, we'll start up here like this, and then we're going to do a zigzag motion. I love doing ribbon like this, especially for those people that come to my class that don't like bows. This is always very helpful. They can do these. So I will add in some zigzag ribbon every now and then. All right, put that pin away. Now we're gonna take and put dimensionals across here. And we're gonna do 1 on each end. Then we're gonna do 2 and 2. And that gives us enough of a balance all the way across. And then we're gonna stick it right here, like that. And then we're gonna use some really pretty embellishments. These are coming out soon. They're gold adhesive back dots, and these are perfect. They're small, they're pretty, and they're shiny, and I love them. So we are gonna stick 2 there. We're gonna stick 1 there, 1 right here, and then we're gonna stick another one over here. And then there is card number 2. Simple and easy. And I'm gonna put this back in here so I don't lose it. I'm good at losing things. All right, so what I wanted to show you really quick in our next card is, so this is gonna be our 3rd card for tonight. And this arch here, this is cut out of the center of it. So I did this card after I'd already completed this one without the arch. And then I realized that I had the extra piece and I really thought it would look pretty on there. So I literally took, and I just want to show you this really quick so that you have the sample of how to do it. Okay, I need to go up 1. All right, so I laid this out on the paper. Let me just show you on here. I laid it out on the paper. Then I took the 2 down. So you don't want the next one, you want the second one after it. Then you just literally line it up. You put tape across it, like down the side, and then you roll it through. And when you come out, you have this piece, and then you have that piece. And it makes it perfect for doing like a frame, and then also just adding that extra little arch. So easy peasy for that. And you can do that with any shapes that are like this. So you could do it with our banner dies, you can do it with the circles, you can do it with the squares. We've got all those different shapes and dies that you can do that with. So let's create this one. And this one, I already cut out the pumpkins, so you don't have to watch me do it. But I promise it's easy to cut out these pumpkins. They are very, very simple to cut out. So let's put our white piece on the inside. And there we go. Then we're going to take our designer series paper. And these are from 2 different patterns. So the pumpkins have all pumpkins on it. And then this is, of course, the acorns, which I love acorns too, just FYI. Acorns and pine cones and anything fall, and anything football. Which actually, I do have the football set coming. So when we get to September, when the Gamecocks come, when football starts, we are going to, we're going to do a football night because we have to. Okay, we're going to pop these up with dimensionals, but I really don't want to have to put many dimensionals on there. So you can use our, hold on, I've lost them. Oh no. Are they in my pile? They might be in my pile. Hold on. Well, I guess we will be using mini dimensionals. You can use the adhesive strips. They are wonderful things. Hold on. We're going to see if I can locate what I have done with them. I really don't know what I did with them. I really did lose them. And I had oh, here they are. Oh, I was like, I had a whole sheet of them. So these were from a kit, but we also have some adhesive strips that are perfect for these things, okay? So we're gonna take and go down, and then we're gonna trim there, and then we're gonna put that one there. Then we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna trim. And then we're gonna put one right here. Then we're gonna cut these into littler pieces so that we can do the arch part without having to like bend it and do all that. And then ta-da. Strips make it so easy when you are doing things like this. And then we'll just take those backs off. And it takes me just a second to get these. These are a little skinny and shorter than our regular ones, and so it takes me just a minute. And I do have nails, so, you know. And then we're gonna stick this in the center so that it frames. It's almost like a window. That's kind of what I was thinking, was like a little window. So we can put some strips in there and make it a window. And then we're gonna add our pumpkins. So we're gonna start with this one. We wanna put a little bit of adhesive at the bottom, and then we're gonna put our actual dimensionals up top. Don't get them too close to the edge because you wanna tuck it up over the arch there. So that can go there. You could even put it at an angle if you wanted to. One thing I have noticed, just as an FYI, once you adhere to this piece with dimensionals, you are not getting it back up without ruining the paper. I tried to get something up and it was stuck for life. You could cut it and then like, you know, do like the rub, but you're gonna have to literally like beg and barter and yell at it to get it to come off. It is stuck. It is good. So just know that. Put it where you want it. And again, we're gonna put these kind of toward the center again. And our adhesive down there at the bottom. And we're gonna overlap these. We'll turn this one like this. As you know, the pumpkins are not gonna be perfect laying there on the thing. Then we'll take a 1-dimensional and put this one right here on top. There we go. We're gonna take linen thread, tie a bow. I tied a big one with the sample. So we're gonna tie a semi-big one with this too. We'll see how big it gets. My linen thread has started like twisting. So I have to play with it a little bit. There we go. Then we'll trim it off. Grab a glue dot. And we're gonna stick this literally right here in that little open space. All right, then we're gonna grab a piece of basic white, which I forgot to grab, but I do have some scrap over here. Okay. And we are gonna stamp our sentiment right down here with Early Espresso. And again, that one, all the sentiments are from the Prayers and Promise. And this one just says, give it to God. And boy, how often do I need to be told that? A whole bunch. I like to take control, and he does not need me to do that for sure. He has got it. All right, then I'm gonna take my cutter and we'll just trim it off real quick. We'll go right there, and then we will go right here. Oh, that is not straight, people. All right, let's go this way. That is straight. All right, we're gonna go right here. Ta-da. Okay. And then, last but not least, we will take and put a little bit of adhesive on this side. And I just got that way off, so we'll roll it. We're gonna put a little dimensional, a little mini dimensional right there. Right there. And actually, I don't even really think we need it, but we'll put it there anyway. And then we're gonna put a little bit more adhesive down on this side. And then we're gonna lay it right across here. Tuck that in there. Oop. Okay, well, I don't know what I did, but I got it real. Let's move it up a little bit. There we go. Let's trim off. How about that? Let's trim off a little bit more. And that was not straight at all. Wow. Let's flip it and see if I can get it straight. There we go. All right. Now let's do that. And there. Okay. And we can pull that up just a little bit. Okay. There we go. There is project number 3. All right. So here are our 3 projects for tonight. So we've got those 3 that we have done. That was our first one, our second one, and our third one. And then again, I will have one more for you that will be, it'll be like a reel. And Angie, you're going to have to tell me what the name of this card is because I don't have a clue. But we did this in your class, and I think I did the measurements wrong, but that's okay because I ended up liking it anyway. I used those gold pearls again and that golden glow ribbon, but it has every other strip popped up. I thought it was kind of called a shadow or an eclipse, but it's not, so I'm not really fully sure what it's called. But this one I will have just a reel that'll come out showing you how to put this one together. And then again, once I get that done, then I will have, to all my email subscribers, I will have the full tutorial for all 4 cards for our for August product of the month from Stampin' Up. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Thank you, Kathy. I'll see you guys next week, normal time, Tuesday, 7 o'clock. I think we're going to probably do Paper Pumpkin next week because I really need to do it before the new one comes out. So, with Tuesday being the 1st, I still have time. So I will get to working on that one. So, all right, everyone, I'll see you next time. Bye.